I don't have my phone mount on top of the dash yet. I got to move it over from the Honda Civic into the Chevy Malibu. So I'm going to be filming from the side with my hand here, like the old school videos. Welcome to Welte Every 7th. Today we're talking about this, what's a new car to me here. I've talked on the channel before about buying cars, about how I pay cash for cars, and this was a different situation, sort of. I'm gonna explain everything in depth, but really I'm interested in other people's experiences and other gig workers' histories buying cars as well, especially with a loan, because I'm wondering, was I given a higher interest rate on my loan because I'm a gig worker? So I've said two things. I've said I'm paying cash for the vehicle, and I've also said that I have a loan on the vehicle, and both are kind of true. It's just more of a complex situation because of the cost of the vehicle being over $20,000. I didn't have that sitting in my checking account. I have the money in a Robinhood, and I'm having to, sell some Amazon stock off so that I have the liquid cash available to just pay in full upon the first loan payment of this vehicle. But, that does mean that technically I have a loan right now on this car, and I chose the shortest loan time possible. It was a 4-year loan, a 48-month loan, as opposed to they offered like 5 and 6 years as well. But for a 48-month loan on right at $20,000, they gave me a 9.09 interest rate on this loan. I thought that was very high, and I'm wondering why. I'm wondering is that typical right now nationwide, or is it because of my age? I'll tell you, my credit score, I guess that matters, was 717. I'm not someone who cares about developing a credit score. If it were up to me, I wouldn't even have one, but because I had a student loan that I've already on the channel paid off in full, because I have a mortgage, I have this credit score. I think it's stupid that I don't have a perfect credit score, whatever that is, 850 or whatever they say that is. I mean, why would I not have a perfect credit score? I've never been late on any payment of any kind for any debt. I've bought cars in cash every time up to this point. I paid off my student loan in full way before it was due, even when I didn't have to. I think when I paid it off, it was still during that COVID time when all the interest rates were at zero because of the COVID relief or whatever decisions that the government were making with making things easier on people financially. And you know what that shows me? It shows me that the whole thing's a scam, because the fact that somebody who has never had a single flaw with paying debt wouldn't have a perfect credit score, that shows you that they're limiting my credit score because I haven't had enough debt. And debt is something that in general should be avoided unless necessary, but they suck you in. Even you good debtors that never miss a payment, you don't get a good credit score unless you have a lot of debt, because that's where we want you. We want you in chains. The Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender, and I'm kind of on my soapbox here, but that's kind of what these episodes are for here on Welte Every 7th. Anyway, so those are the factors that are contributing to my loan. That's just over 9%, which I thought was high. I mean, my home loan is less than 3%. And I know we bought at a really fortunate time. We really just got lucky with that. Our timing was nice there right at the end of 2020 before things got really crazy. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of car loans they're giving out to you all. I'm interested. You let me know in the comments, because I'm wondering, is the fact that I wasn't employed, I told them I was self-employed, I told them about how I make my income, did that cause a problem for me to where my interest rate reflected that? They asked me to just kind of estimate what my income was, and I told them, I'm like, well, it really fluctuates based off what I got going on, it's kind of up and down. But they were like, just give us a fair estimate for your monthly average over the course of a year. And I was like, you can put down, $3,333 for my monthly income. I feel like that was certainly a fair number to give them. Something I do on the channel is post my income every week on the community tab of my YouTube channel. $3,300 a month is certainly something that's proven to be attainable, especially if I set out with the intention to hit those numbers, then that's no problem at all. So maybe I hurt myself there as well with giving them kind of a conservative estimate of an income that I'm pulling in, because, you know, I could have certainly said $4,300 a month, and that's also very doable. Would that have changed the interest rate on my loan? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've been out here dashing today before I started recording for Welte every 7th, but this is going to be my next pickup right here. But yeah, I think you know, if my math was right, if I were to hang on to the loan for the 48 months, just paying the minimum instead of paying it in full at the start of June, we're talking about paying like $8,000 more for this car. That's crazy. I can't believe that the norm is for people to be out here doing that. And that's why so few people are in the financial position that they want to be in, or in the financial position that they can have the freedom to be their own boss like we do in the gig economy, because they're stuck. And I mean, how are you building wealth when you're paying $8,000 extra for depreciating assets? You're just not, especially people my age. Like, that's very common for people my age to not be in the position to pull 20 grand out of an investment account to pay off a car. So, you know, they're making decisions young enough in life that then it's compounding on itself. So the $8,000 that you cost yourself at the age of, between the ages of 25 and 30 is really like, you know, by the time that you would want to retire, that's really cost you $30,000, $40,000. For most people, that $30,000, $40,000, that's, you know, that's the difference in retiring 1 year sooner. You continue working full time 1 year extra of your life because of just one bad decision financially. And we have people out here that are just stacking poor decision on top of poor decision and wondering why they can't retire themselves with dignity and have to rely on the government. It's really just unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. The loan's through Capital One too. That was another thing. I didn't have any say in like who was financing the loan, and they were just like, oh, it's gonna be through Capital One. And I was like, okay. I mean, I guess that's fine. I don't like Capital One, but I mean, they keep sending mail to my house talking about you're pre-approved. I'm like, I didn't ask to be. I'm never gonna call you. I'm bummed I even have to ever communicate with them now. I think I have to make an account just to even pay off the loan. Even if I do it in full, I think I have to like make some sort of online account with them and talk to one of their representatives. I'm not looking forward to that. I like the old Dave Ramsey line. What's in your wallet? Cash. Because I don't need your credit card. Anyway, let's complete this DoorDash. That's gonna be it for this dash and for this Welte every 7th, because I'm about to I'm gonna go get an inspection form filled out for this new Chevy Malibu so that I'm eligible for Uber rides and Lyft. I'm trying to get that ready to go for the month of May. Thanks for hanging out with me for another Welte every 7th. I will see you next time on Welte.